Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really different, a framework for understanding our minds, our emotions, from Ron W Rathbun.
Yeah, he's the founder of the Kelee Foundation.
Exactly. And he presents this, frankly, surprising way to handle that negativity we all sometimes feel stuck with.
It's definitely a different lens. Rathbun's work challenges, the standard ways we think thoughts and feelings connect. And he offers a specific method for change.
Okay, let's start with the name itself, the Kelee. That's quite intriguing. Where does it come from?
Right, well, Rathbun points to its origins in ancient Sanskrit. We're talking like 3,000 years back. And it means having to do with different states of mind.
Okay, states of mind. But there's more, isn't there? Something about Greek and Hebrew.
That's right. He found a parallel meaning in biblical Greek and Hebrew, where Kelee translates to vessel.
Vessel. So how does he connect those? States of mind and vessel.
He puts them together quite powerfully, suggesting that Kelee is literally the vessel of our soul.
The vessel of our soul. Okay, that's a big concept. How does he translate that into, like, a model of the mind we can grasp?
Well, he gets surprisingly specific. He describes what he calls an electrochemical surface of the mind. Picture it around eye level.
Electrochemical. So thoughts aren't just abstract. They have some kind of charge.
Yeah. In his model, they have a tangible presence on this surface. And this explains, common sayings.
Ah, like when something's weighing on your mind.
Exactly. Or stuck on the back of your mind. It's like they're literally on that surface.
Okay, so thoughts are on the surface, but you said vessel, which implies depth. Does the Kelee go deeper than just that surface?
It absolutely does. So below this surface, extending down maybe towards the heart area, that's what he calls the greater Kelee.
Down to the heart, okay.
And then it sort of folds back up, connecting between the brain hemispheres. That part is the lesser Kelee.
Right, okay. So there's a structure, a greater and lesser Kelee, and the surface.
And he makes a really key distinction here. Our thinking processes, logic, analysis, that stuff he says that exists above the surface and in that lesser Kelee, more associated with the brain structure itself.
The intellect part.
Right. But our feeling processes, our emotions, the deeper experiences, those are located below the surface, deeper inside us, within the greater Kelee.
So thinking is up top, feeling is deeper down. That's a very clear map.
It is. It gives a spatial sense to it all.
Okay, so with this map, how does he explain those issues we mentioned, the negativity?
He defines them very specifically. He calls them electrochemical thought form images.
Electrochemical thought form images, like mental snapshots.
Kinda, yeah. Like these charged images or patterns that get, trapped inside the Kelee structure.
Trapped, creating what he calls compartments of negativity.
Exactly. Like little walled-off sections holding on to that negative charge or pattern.
That makes a certain kind of sense. If they're trapped, how do you get them out? What's the solution Rathbun proposes?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. He developed this approach, Kelee meditation, over like 20 years. And he claims it's a simple practice anyone can do.
Simple. To deal with deeply trapped negativity.
Simple in concept, maybe. The goal is to free yourself from these thought form images, these compartments of negativity. And he says, forever.
Forever. That's a huge claim. How?
The key, according to Rathbun, is you need to get out of the brain and the intellect.
Okay.
And instead, get into our mind associated with our spirit.
Get into our spirit. What does that practically mean? How do you do that?
It's about where you place your conscious awareness. That feeling of you that's listening and thinking right now. He says you need to consciously take that awareness from the surface of the mind, where all of the busy thoughts are, and intentionally move it down, deeper, into the greater Kelee, towards that heart level space we talked about.
Move your awareness down, inside.
Yes. By doing that, Rathbun suggests you enter what he calls the phenomenon of our spirit. It's like accessing a state of pure awareness beneath the mental chatter.
And that's how you detach from the issues, by shifting awareness away from the intellect and into this deeper space.
That's the core idea. It's like stepping out of the problem rather than trying to think your way through it from the same level where it exists.
Yeah.
Detaching from it once and for all, as he puts it.
Well, okay, that sounds profound and potentially life-changing.
It does sound amazing, yes. But it's also clear it requires a little bit of work.
Right. It's not instant. It's a practice.
It's a practice of consciously shifting that focus, probably repeatedly, until it becomes more natural. But the powerful part is that it's presented as something you can do for yourself.
Self-doable. That's empowering, especially if you felt really stuck.
Absolutely. So zooming out, Rathbun's model gives us this very distinct map of our inner world, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
And it offers this unique, spirit-focused way to think about mental and emotional health. It's less about analyzing the thoughts and more about accessing a different state of being, a different location for your awareness.
It definitely encourages you to ask, where is my awareness most of the time? Is it just up in my head, in the intellect?
Precisely.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. What might actually happen if you could consciously shift your awareness like that? Move it internally, away from just the intellect, to address those deep struggles. Could you really detach? It's certainly an intriguing idea to explore.
Definitely worth considering.
And if you want to dig deeper into Ron Rathbun's work and this whole concept of the Kelee, you can find more information at www.thekelee.org.
Thanks for joining us.